I would remember him as a human being of great decency, great inspiration, great moral compass, and someone who lived his life with such courage, with such fortitude, and with such love for the country and for every countryman, for every animal. I mean, I don't think there'll be another Ratan Tata because he, I'm sorry I'm getting emotional, but he was a different kind of man. I was blessed. I mean, I'm thanking the Lord that I even had the honor and the privilege of knowing him. But Ratan Tata strode like a colossus. He was a human being with great dignity, with great decency, and with utmost compassion. I mean, from being a fighter jet pilot to in July playing with my 5-year-old daughter, she was passing him Kit Kat and he was taking it. The love which he showered on me, on my family, on my wife Lakshmi. And I can't keep remembering, but there are innumerable anecdotes. It's not about what Ratan Tata achieved in business, that you and I know. But the man was something else, whether it was his staff, whether it was his dogs. I've often said this about how he refused an invitation by King Charles, then Prince Charles, to go to Buckingham Palace to receive a lifetime achievement because Tito, one of his dogs, was unwell. That shows you character. I think what he will leave behind in India is great character. He will leave behind great humanism. He will leave behind, to my mind, a legacy that people will love to follow. I haven't, in my 61 years of living, seen such an outpouring of grief. Every Indian is impacted today. Ratan did not have a personal family. He was a bachelor. But every Indian, 1.4 billion people today are in mourning because of the man's innate decency, because of the good he caused, the goodness he showered, and the embrace with which he touched every human life. Whether it was, as I said, whether it was cancer centers, the small animal hospital, in every which way, Ratan Tata has defined the true Indian. An Indian mired in culture, mired in decency, and with a very, very strong moral compass. For instance, even when he was unwell, let's imagine if he couldn't move and you went to his home and after dinner or after lunch, he would walk you to the door. He would never treat any human being lesser than himself. He would always respect a frailty. He was the man. I still remember many, many years ago, we were at the Taj in Bombay here, and he said, what are we doing with people who are specially abled? And then the Taj started putting, long before it became law, we put all our elevators with Braille characters. I mean, what happened after 26/11? Every person who lost his life, their families were grieved personally by Ratan Tata. I mean, they don't make them like this anymore.
Everyone will remember Ratan Tata as a person who is a very patriotic person, and he always kept country over money. And there are multiple examples of these things when he did not pursue the business which was against India or which was not favorable to India. So if you have any example for that, his patriotic nature?
In every which way. When Mr. Tata decided that the Taj would buy the Pierre, the hotel in New York, he was so proud that the Indian flag was fluttering outside. When Tata Tea bought Tetley, when they bought Chorus, Jaguar Land Rover, everyone told him, oh, this is a big mistake, this is a big mistake. But Mr. Tata believed in only one thing. He believed in the Indian. He believed in the Indian capability, the Indian competence, the Indian character, the Indian integrity. He was actually a true nationalist without being jingoistic. Secular to the core. There was no, there was no segregation, no discrimination in his mind. You could be whoever you are in whatever station in life, but he treated you as if you were himself or as if you were part of his family.
All of the great men is now left only the memories of him. If you can share some more anecdotes personal to you and for others.
There are, it's impossible in this hour for me to share anecdotes, but all I can tell you is that as time goes by, one will write or perhaps talk about them, but there are innumerable. When he used to travel, he was a great prankster. He had a great sense of humor. He would love playing a prank. He was an outstanding